to talk about this, but I'm going to start out talking about uh, Billy first of all. Billy Meyer is in his he's in his middle 80s. He lives in a place they call Hinterschmid Rudi, which is about 35 kilometers east of Zurich. It's a tiny mountain village that's nestled among the pine forest and the snow-covered mountains of Switzerland. Billy grew up farther north in a place called Bulak, near the Eichenmoser and Bruder Mountains in the Glatt Valley. And right around 1943, Billy started getting telepathic messages from a man named Sfath. Sfath was an extraterrestrial human of nearly 1,000 years old, and he lives on a planet called Era that was terraformed about 230,000 years ago. So about 230,000 years ago, an Ishwish, a king of wisdom named Asael, left Lyra Vega, those systems, and he brought 360,000 people with him on 183 ships. And they went to this Pleiaren system, which is, again, some 80 light years beyond our Pleiades in a different space-time configuration. And they
Hey, Mark,
terraform.
sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. We see the Ohio Exopolitics tab, and I think
Mm-hmm.
you're reading from a different one. Is that true or
No,
no?
I'm reading from my memory right now. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we were supposed to be on a different Future Mankind tab.
No,
Okay.
no, 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 no. You can see though. Do you see where it says when tangled ideas confuse the thoughts?
Yes.
Is that okay? Good. We're gonna get to
Perfect.
that. I'm sorry. That's all right. So yeah. So I just like to go back to the big picture all the time, uh, because it's really interesting that in 1943, while World War II was going on, Billy was being contacted by an extraterrestrial human who landed a strange silvery pear-shaped craft in Bulak, Switzerland. And in fact, Billy was too scared to get on the ship the first time it landed. He finally went on the ship the second time that Sfath came. And he would later write, Billy would later write, that it felt as if he was being lifted up by ghostly hands. So he was brought into the ship. Sfath went some 100 kilometers into the sky, I believe, into Earth orbit. And then he told Billy the most incredible thing. He said, you have been in your previous lives Enoch, Elijah, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Emmanuel, and Muhammad. And in each one of these previous lives, you've taught something called the teaching of the Spirit. And the teaching of the Spirit is all about learning these creational natural laws. So now I'm going to get to I guess I can only call this the law of neutral positive thinking. And there's a verse in Macht der Gedanken, the Might of Thoughts, which has profoundly impacted me, and I've been analyzing it for years now. And it's on Might of Thoughts, page 224. And it says, this is in contrast to entangled ideas confuse the thoughts and cause them to abruptly go from one extreme to another, whereby a misdirection of thoughts arises, which triggers emotions and can even lead to manslaughter and murder. We think of guns as having triggers. So when you pull the trigger on a gun, you hear a loud boom, and a bullet will come out, which can kill someone. Well, the same kind of thing, our emotions have triggers. And when our emotions get triggered, that can even lead to murder and manslaughter. Um, and I notice that it says this is a contrast to entangled ideas. Now, ideas, Billy sometimes talks about unripe ideas. These are ones that have not been completely thought through. In fact, if you completely think through an idea, it becomes an ideal, I believe he says. Correct me if I'm wrong, later on in that book. So the concept here is that we want to have ripe ideas or ideas that are completely thought through, and so we do not confuse the thoughts, because remember, when your thoughts get tangled, they get confused. And when you get confused and your thoughts are tangled, that's when the thoughts can go to extremes, which are misdirections of thoughts. And that's when the emotions can be triggered and the violence can occur. So I think I'll stop there.